this arena. This is going to be some battle. One-on-one, mano-a-mano.
For generations, the steel cage match has been considered one of the most ruthless matches of all time.
And he's a proud guy. That title may not be on the line here, but that doesn't mean he doesn't want to win this match.
Oh, look at it. Drop down.
Deep six from the Lone Wolf.
There he goes, crashing to the floor.
Baron Corbin doesn't care about the WWE rulebook, the officials, or how the WWE Universe perceives him. Corbin is a wrecking machine who will make sure anyone who stands in his way will feel the wrath of the Lone Wolf.
Baron Corbin looking a bit uneasy here. But he's very aware of who he's in there with and what he has to do to rebound.
Byron, you made a great point earlier about Baron Corbin, and, well, he's all about Baron Corbin. Remember, this is a man who was thrown out of the NFL after a serious altercation during a team practice. Lone Wolf is right.
Look, I'm one of the few people who can say they're friends with Baron Corbin. The Lone Wolf wants to make sure all of WWE feels the end of days. I'd like to add that Baron Corbin has a strong dislike for you, Saxton, so I'd watch myself if I were you. Tear the features clean off your face.
Nobody controls the pace of a match quite like this guy. Here he goes. Reverses that one.
Oh, and he connects. There's no reason to lose your footing on a move like that. Come on, toughen up. German suplex. But that's not all.
Into a ripcord lariat. What a combination. Oh, so ruthless.
Now that's how you use a table to your advantage. Baron Corbin loves to hit people. Before entering sports entertainment, Corbin played professional football and was a boxer. Known as the Lone Wolf, Corbin then set his sights on NXT.
Table in play.
Harsh impact.
Nailed it. When this guy's on, look out.
Good night. What a stunner.
Incoming. Looks like he's starting to sweat now. Well, he knew this was going to be a fight heading into this one.
Well, he had to expect to take some punishment tonight. You don't step in the ring with this guy and walk away completely unscathed.
This isn't his first rodeo. He had to expect to take on some offense here tonight. Oh boy, he is rolling.
These guys are giving it not just to entertain the fans, but to ultimately walk away with the win. You can bet every superstar on the roster is crowded around the monitors in the back to see which one of these guys comes out.
I don't believe it.
And that table can shorten careers, Michael.
Oh, he's so ruthless.
Now that's how you use a table to your advantage.
Oh, he's so ruthless.
Now that's how you use a table to your advantage. I don't believe it.
And that table can shorten careers, Michael.
Great one-on-one action here tonight. It doesn't get much better than this. Each of these competitors is looking for the slightest hint of weakness in the other.
Baron Corbin just too fast for him. Oh boy, he is rolling.
We're seeing two outstanding athletes looking to prove their dominance in there, but only one can walk out victorious. Who will it be?
This might be the end of Corbin.
I love these cage matches. Bringing it back between the ropes.
Belly to back suplex coming. Face buster is unique.
Both of these competitors have so much resolve, it's going to take a minor miracle to keep one of them down.
Right to the back of the neck. Things are looking dire for Baron Corbin. Something's got to change quick.
He started this match in great health, but now it seems fatigue has set in.
It's almost as if this steel cage has chewed him up and spit him out. He looks absolutely helpless in there right now.
Yeah, he's in bad shape right now, but come on, it's nothing we haven't seen him overcome in the past.
The WWE Universe is coming unglued, an absolute fever pitch here.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
Oh, so ruthless.
Now that's how you use a table to your advantage.
Oh, so ruthless.
Now that's how you use a table to your advantage. I don't believe it.
And that table can shorten careers, Michael.
He's one of those guys that gets going and it's hard to stop.
Uh-oh. Oh! This singles contest has the victor.
Here is your winner, War.
Looking dominant at times in the victory.
Impressive doesn't even begin to describe.
Here comes the Kingslayer.
When a superstar locks up with Seth Rollins, they must be prepared to endure attacks from all angles. Rollins has perfected the fighting style that's been described as a frantic assault.
Well, the door's locked, and at this point, the competitors might just be wondering exactly what they've gotten themselves into.
Oh, what a clothesline.
Forcefully delivered.
We've seen this before.
He's looking good now, guys. Oh, no, Seth Rollins needs to worry now.
Yeah, the clock's ticking on the Kingslayer.
The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstars.
He goes for the cover.
This one's far from over.
Hey, I guess you never know.
To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. And you mentioned the most iconic, the steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship that saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka clash against bitter rival, the magnificent Morocco.
There's no denying that Superfly set the bar. Look over the years to people like Jeff and Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. They continued to push the envelope and executed unbelievable attacks from the top of the cage. And watch Rikishi take flight off the top of the steel cage. Wow.
Leapfrog. Drop kick.
Right on the money.
This is what makes him one of the best in the business. He's making a statement here with this attack.
For a schoolboy. Oh, what a super kick.
Wow, I thought he was a goner.
Seth Rollins has gained many of the highest accolades here in the WWE, multiple tag team titles and multiple WWE championships. But we shouldn't forget before all that, Rollins was the first ever NXT champion. Dodges a bullet there. Clothesline! He's got the shoulders down. It's going to take more than that to keep him down. Too soon.
Bringing up Seth's inaugural NXT Championship reign reminds me of how he's one of those guys that's ushered in a new era of talent here in the WWE.
Well, that would be an accurate assessment from you, Saxton, and I'm a little surprised. But to elaborate...
And the shoulder gets up in time.
Still too fresh.
Oh, Seth Rollins in a tough situation here, folks. Looks to me like he just hit a wall.
It makes sense for Seth Rollins to hold a tag team title with one of his Shield brothers, but to hold it with the overachieving Jason Jordan was the result of a series of unfortunate events.
He's lining him up.
He's close to being done here.
Those unfortunate events you mentioned, Corey, included a long-term injury to Rollins' tag team partner, Dean Ambrose. Jason Jordan then inserted himself. He's looking at it.
Oh boy, he is rolling.
Lariat.
Here's his moment, Michael.
Talk about an awe-inspiring finish.
Hooking him up.
Brutal face buster.
Well, the Architect is rolling now.
What a strike. He's not going to like this.
Going for broke. Boom, what impact. Here's his chance to win this.
Pinning predicament.
Unbelievable. This singles match is over.
Here is your winner, War.
Nicely done, picking up the win here.
You know, it didn't happen often, but I can attest, being pinned is...
Look out. Here we go with the steel cage match.
Well, the door's locked, and at this point, the competitors might just be wondering exactly what they've gotten themselves into.
The leg is... Beautiful technique. Ooh, what impact.
Undertaker looking mortal here, but not for a second do I expect him to back down now. You gotta believe this one's over.
We talk about how important stipulations are in a steel cage match. If superstars sign a contract where the only way to win is escape the cage and have both your feet touch the floor, the competitors must have a plan. Especially since you have to be comfortable trying to escape through the cage door as you do climbing over the top of the cage and vice versa.
Bringing it back between the ropes.
Corey, you touched on something moments ago that's so important for the combatants in a steel cage match to remember. A superstar must be able to think offensively to figure out how they're going to escape the cage. They must think defensively at the same time so they can prevent their opponent from getting out of the cage first and winning the match.
Well, a superstar must become comfortable with escaping the cage by both exiting the cage door and by climbing over the top of the cage. They must also be aware of their attributes and what's best for them. Let's just say if you're a giant like The Big Show, The Undertaker, Kane, or even Braun Strowman, it's preferred to exit through the cage door. Incredible!
There's a lot of force behind that one.
There it is.
Did you hear that crack? When the bell tolls and the flames of hell burn, that means the man known as the Lord of Darkness, the Dead Man, and the Phenom is on his way. The mighty Undertaker is the greatest force in this industry and the collector of souls.
Oh, clobbered by the steps.
That'll make you reassess some things.
You never know when evil will appear, Byron. We witnessed that when Undertaker emerged from the darkness for the 900th episode of SmackDown Live. It was here the Dead Man proclaimed he was back to taking souls and digging holes.
The Undertaker is the Reaper. This giant possesses powers that extend far beyond our mortal world, and if forced to, he will unleash those powers to bring your soul with him to the dark side. Welcome to Death Valley.
The WWE Universe has seen the evolution of the steel cage in the enclosure known today as Hell in a Cell. The first time an enclosed cage was seen was in October of 1983 in the last Battle of Atlanta. The enclosed cage was seen a few years later in the War Games match from the NWA. There were even cages stacked on top of each other like WCW's Tower of Doom.
Byron, we talk about the progression of steel cage matches and the type of structures that have been spawned from them. I need to point out that some cages have been electrified. One was made from bamboo in the form of a Punjabi prison match. And, of course, the Elimination Chamber with glass pods and steel doors.
And today we have the Asylum match, where weapons are on top of the cage. Just goes to show you that times may change, but the objective to destroy an opponent remains the same. There's still no better way to settle a score than to do battle with your adversary inside a steel cage.
Being a sports entertainer for over 25 years will take a toll on anybody's body, yet The Undertaker continues to defy logic.
Yeah, and he continues to silence any doubters. So many have asked, has The Undertaker lost a step? And that, guys, may be the most dangerous question to ask. You would be making a grave mistake to come at the Dead Man with misplaced confidence.
According to historians, the twisted metal that we see as part of steel cages today dates back 80 years. To settle a dispute between competitors Jack Bloomfield and Count Pietro Rossi, the two met inside a ring surrounded by chicken wire. At first, these types of matches were referred to as fence matches.
Byron brings up the question of Undertaker losing a step, and it seems as if the notion is constantly tested. Challengers continue to lure the Dead Man out. No one allows him to rest in peace. Everyone wants to see if the demon from Death Valley still has it.
I got an idea. How about you ask John Cena if Undertaker still has it? Ask Rusev how he celebrated Rusev Day in a casket. Age is a meaningless number to the Phenom.
Corey, you gave us an impressive history of the origins of the steel cage match. I'd like to point out to our viewers that from the 1960s to the mid-1980s, chain link fences were used to enclose the ring for WWE steel cage matches. A superstar could win by pinfall, submission, or by exiting the cage through the cage door or climbing over the top of the cage.
We should also point out, Michael, that the way to win a steel cage match can vary by match depending on what was agreed to before contracts to compete in the match were signed. Talking about history, at WrestleMania 2, WWE unveiled the redesigned steel cage with solid steel blue bars before returning to chain link mesh in the late 1990s.
Before 2017's Extreme Rules, there were just 3 previous tag team matches where championship gold was decided inside a steel cage in the history of WWE special events. The Hardy Boys were in 2 of those matches. At Extreme Rules, in order to win the match, both members of a team had to exit the cage and have both feet on the floor.
The Hardys used their famous continuity to gain the early advantage until Cesaro and Sheamus utilized their devastating power to slow the pace of the match down. Both teams battled atop the steel cage, but in the end, Sheamus and Cesaro won the race to the arena floor to become new Raw Tag.
He might have it.